On the news on CA News tonight, here are the headlines for today. Crypto ATM sting uncovers elderly widow who lost $282,000 in scam. Fiat is fading. USD has gone the lowest in 3 years as Bitcoin reclaims $107,000. Meta Planet overtakes Tesla with 12,345 BTC and becomes number 7 Bitcoin holder. India ruling party spokesperson urges Bitcoin reserve for India. Invesco and Galaxy pushes for Solana ETF with new SEC filing. BlackRock pushes SEC to approve XRP ETFs before July. Welcome back once again. Crypto ATM sting uncovers elderly widow who lost $282,000 in scam. One of the victims identified in the police operation said she carried around $13,000 in cash at one point to send Bitcoin to scammers via crypto ATMs. Australian Federal Police said it has contacted over 90 Australians as part of a crackdown on criminal use of crypto ATMs, including pig butchering victims and suspected offenders. One of the victims was a 77-year-old widow who was scammed out of $433,000 Australian dollars, which is $281,947 in an online dating scam. Australia Financial Intelligence Agency (OTRA) said on Wednesday. Australian public broadcaster ABC reported the widow was unaware that the Belgian man she had been dating online for 2 years was a fraud until police showed up at her door. The victim said she was encouraged by the scammer, whom she met on a dating app, to invest in Bitcoin by showing her fake documents claiming he had made 13,000 Australian dollars, which is $8,464 in 1 week. For her first transaction, the scammer reportedly talked her through the process, which involved withdrawing money from a regular ATM and then feeding it through a Bitcoin ATM. The victim told the ABC she was logging around 20,000 Australian dollars, which is $13,023 worth of cash at one point, adding that the transfer often took half a day's work and she became quite expert at using the Bitcoin ATM. The task force identified another woman in her 70s who was scorned after seeing what she thought was a legitimate advertisement about a trading firm offering a sizable return on investment. She lost over $200,000, Okta CEO Brenda Thomas said. Moving forward, police charge 1 issued a formal caution to others. During the crackdown, Australian police targeted the top users of crypto ATM who were identified as being at high risk of being used of illicit activities or scam victimization. Police contacted 21 people in particular who were either suspected victims of crypto ATM related scams or were alleged to be involved in illicit activities connected to the machines. We suspected that a large volume of crypto ATM transactions were probably illicit, but disturbingly, our law enforcement partner found that almost all of the transactions were referred involved victims rather than criminals, Thomas said. One was charged with property laundering offense, while 4 others were issued with formal caution over suspicion they were using crypto to buy drugs or were acting as money moles for criminals. However, some suspected moles were scam victims who either unwittingly assisted criminals or unknowingly transferred funds to recover their stolen money. The AFP said that a few didn't want to admit cyber criminals had dumped them. The latest crackdown follows Okta rolling out new operating rules and transaction limits for crypto ATM operators on June 3 to combat scams. Last December, the agency also flagged crypto as a priority for 2025. Furthermore, fake promises for crypto. AFP commander Graham Marshall said in a statement that scam victims are being manipulated into feeding thousands of dollars into crypto ATMs through fake promises of love, employment, investment, or quick profit. If you are guaranteed quick profit, if there is a high pressure deadline or sense of urgency, and if you have never met the person before, cease contact immediately and report them, he said. If someone a business or a government agency asks you to pay using cryptocurrency, do not send money. Australian online cybercrime reporting system called Report Cyber received 150 unique reports of scams involving crypto ATMs between January 2024 and January 2025, according to the AFP, with losses exceeding 3.1 million Australian dollars, which is $2 million. Next, fiat is fading. USD has gone lowest in 3 years as Bitcoin reclaims $107,000. Microeconomics Lynn Adele said the US dollar barely got any flight to safety bid, despite recent geopolitical tensions between Iran and Israel. Analyst says the US dollar hasn't shown its usual safe haven strength during the recent Iran-Israel conflict, while Bitcoin is rising in another attempt to reach its $111,970 all-time high. The dollar index is doubling in new cycle lows today. Microeconomics Lynn Adele said in a post on Wednesday, barely got any flights to safety bid in the past couple weeks either, Alden added. Moving forward, fiat is fading, analyst says. Echoing a similar sentiment, Real Vision crypto analyst Jamie Coates said that fiat is fading. The US dollar index DXY, which measures USD strength against the world's major currency, is trading at its lowest point since February 2022, sitting at 97.50 at the time of publication, according to TradingView data. It's now near the same level it reached on June 13, when tension first escalated after Israel launched airstrikes on Iran. In situations like this, market participants usually expect a shift from riskier assets like cryptocurrencies into safer options such as the US dollar or government bond. In October 2024, a major missile strike by Iran targeting sites across Israel led to DXY spiking 2.67% over the month. Moving forward, traders are highlighting Bitcoin's recent strength. While the US dollar didn't surge during the recent conflict, Bitcoin experienced volatility. On Sunday, Bitcoin briefly dipped below $100,000 for the first time since early May. However, since US President Donald Trump's fragile ceasefire took effect on Monday, it has since bounced back, trading at $107,930 at the time of publication, according to CoinMarketCap data. Crypto analyst Matthew Hyland said that the bulls are in control, while others point out Bitcoin's strong resilience despite recent risk-off conditions. Furthermore, crypto is today's emerging market trade. Bitcoin has broken 2-week downtrend over the past month. Crypto analyst Reg Capital said on Wednesday, Real Vision scouts drew comparison between current macro environments and the early 20s, when a weakening dollar led to a capital rotation into emerging markets and commodities. If you remember 2002 to 2008, the last major dollar depreciation lit a fire under EM equities and commodities, scouts said. EM has performed DM by 3 times as capital chased high-growth young economies, giving rise to BRICS, he said, adding that the new emerging market is crypto. Crypto is today's EM. Capital is moving where the energy is, he said. Next, Meta Planet overtakes Tesla with 12,345 BTC and becomes number 7 Bitcoin holder. Meta Planet has overtaken Tesla in corporate Bitcoin holdings, buying 1,234 BTC and bringing its total to 12,345 BTC as it eyes more expansion. Meta Planet, which is Japan's largest corporate Bitcoin treasury, announced on Thursday that it has purchased an additional 1,234 Bitcoin, bringing its total holdings to 12,345 BTC. The latest acquisition, disclosed in a filing, puts Meta Planet ahead of Tesla's current Bitcoin stash of 11,509 Bitcoin. Meta Planet currently holds the 7th largest corporate Bitcoin treasury according to bitcointreasuries.net. The company is also within striking distance of Bitcoin mining firm CleanSpark with its 12,502 BTC reserve. The purchase was made at an average price of 10.6 million Japanese yen, which is about $108,000 per coin. At the time of writing, Bitcoin traded at $108,150, having risen by 1.4% over the last 24 hours, according to CoinMarketCap. Moving forward, MetaPlanet aims for large-scale expansion. MetaPlanet has scaled up its Bitcoin buys at a rapid pace. The current announcement follows the company's Tuesday issuance of a notice informing investors that its board of directors has approved an additional capital contribution of up to $5 billion. The company did not disclose how much has been raised so far, but said the contribution will significantly accelerate the implementation of its so-called 555 million plan. As part of its 555 million plan, MetaPlanet intends to buy 201,112 BTC by 2027 at a cost of over $21 billion at current prices. The company previously announced plans to hold 100,000 Bitcoin by 2026. Furthermore, the number of Bitcoin treasuries keeps growing. MetaPlanet joins a growing list of companies expanding their Bitcoin holdings. Nakamoto Holdings, a Bitcoin holding company, recently secured $51.5 million in capital to acquire more BTC. Last week, Parataxi Holdings announced a new Bitcoin treasury platform in the South Korean market. Also this month, Norwegian crypto firm K33 announced plans to raise a minimum of 85 million Swedish krona, which is $8.9 million, through a new shares issuance with plans to acquire up to 1,000 BTC. In early June, Norwegian crypto exchange called Block Exchange announced its Bitcoin treasury. The company's stock reacted by jumping by over 138% the same day. French technology firm The Blockchain Group also expanded its holdings with an acquisition of 182 BTC for about $19.6 million. The company now holds a total of 1,728 BTC according to BitcoinTreasury.net. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Do you want to make money from crypto without investing any money at all? Yes, you heard me right. Without any single funds. Are you between the age of 15 to 25 years, right? And you know how to use a phone very well with an internet connection, right? I'm Crypto Talker by name, and I'll teach you how to make money from crypto for free without any funds. All you have to do is test some sites for free, and they'll pay you for testing the sites when they launch their token. Use free faucets. We call them free faucets. You get free faucets. Use it to test their site for them, right? And they mark your wallet address as an address that tested their site when they were in the testing phase, and they will reward you their tokens when they launch, right? Now, I'm teaching you how to do all this for free in my community. All you have to do is click anywhere around this video. Then once you click the link, you're going to see a follow button by the top right. Click on that follow button, right? And you're already in the channel. Now, I'll also put the link to a support group inside that channel so that you can ask your question. Because inside the channel, you can't ask questions. Inside the support group, you're able to ask questions. I'll be there to answer your questions. Some of my admins will also be there to answer your questions with video guides, all right? Thousands of people are already making money from cryptocurrencies for free. Like my student Eze, here is his testimonial. Ebuka, my student, here is his testimonial. And Aisha, these are some of my students that have made money from cryptocurrencies without any fund. Now click the link below or anywhere around this video to join the Crypto Talker channel right now. This channel is open just for 24 hours for free. After that time, you'll be able to use the link you're seeing right now to join the channel again. I'll see you on this side. This is Crypto Talker here. Peace out.
Welcome back. Indian ruling party spokesperson urges Bitcoin reserve for India. Bharatiya Janata Party's national spokesperson, Pradip Bhandari, has urged the center to think seriously about building a strategic Bitcoin reserve, arguing that the global mood on digital assets has changed for good. His call lands just as Washington locked Bitcoin into its balance sheet and tiny Bhutan quietly turns hydropower into a billion-dollar crypto world. This isn't a reckless pivot, it is a calculated step toward embracing digital assets legitimacy, Bhandari insists. Moving forward, the American template. In January, the United States transformed roughly 200,000 sized Bitcoin, now worth more than $20 billion, into a sovereign buffer against inflation and market stocks. Plans announced at last month's White House Crypto Summit go further, called boosting the reserve through budget-neutral tactics that keeps taxpayers off the hook. 3 states already allowed treasuries to hold Bitcoin. Several more are drafting similar bills. Bhandari sees the move as a loud geopolitical signal. When the world's largest economy puts Bitcoin on its book, everyone else takes notice. Moving forward, Bhutan hydro-powered play. Closer home, Bhutan has mined Bitcoin since 2021 using surplus hydropower, amassing a war chest now topping $1 billion. What began as a lifeline after tourism collapsed in a pandemic now bankroll public services and green projects. Bhandari argues that Indians with far bigger renewable capacity could adapt the model at scale. The resources are here, he says. India's crypto policy are taxed but unregulated, which needs clarity to unlock potential. Moving forward, why Bitcoin has an edge. Bitcoin differs fundamentally from both fiat money and gold. Its cold cap supply at 21 million coin and engineers scarcity that many sees as a reliable store of value. It answers to no central bank and runs on a decentralized network, so no single authority can rewrite the rules. Trading never stops. The asset moves across border every hour of every day. Each transaction lives forever on a transparent, tamper-resistant blockchain. Those traits, scarcity, independency, and round-the-clock liquidity have earned Bitcoin the nickname digital gold. Yet it offers more than gold ever could. Instant portability, programmable features, and cryptographic security fit for an internet economy. Moving forward, India's unfinished rulebook. Despite spearheading global crypto talks during its 2023 G20 presidency, New Delhi still lacks a clean legal framework. Crypto gains are taxed at 30%, but there are no licensing rules for exchanges, no guardrails for institutional adoption, and no pathway for a sovereign reserve. The pressure to act has risen since the IMF reclassified Bitcoin as a capital asset, spurring Washington, Beijing, Brasilia, and Moscow to push ahead with formal policies and pilot projects. Furthermore, sketching a pilot. Talk inside Delhi's policy cycles point to a cautioned trial, buying 5,000 to 10,000 BTC, financed by rupee-neutral instruments, or the sale of dormant assets. Coin would sit in cold wallets protected by multi-signature keys and audited by outside experts. A companion program could tap solar and wind capacity to run clean Bitcoin mines, matching India's climate goals while adding domestic supply. Furthermore, first ripples in the market. Crypto platforms reported a quick jump in BTC INR volumes after Bhandari's remark. Industry voices, including exchange founders, praised the ideas and called for a formal consultation paper. Finance Ministry officials say the proposal will figure in upcoming reserve management reviews. The RBI remains silent for now, though it has previously flagged risks tied to unregulated cryptocurrencies. For the moment, the strategic Bitcoin reserve is only an idea, yet it forces a bigger question. Will India play architect or spectator in the next phase of global finance? With the United States stocking digital gold and Bhutan proving ambition isn't bound by size, the window for decisive action is open, but it won't stay open forever. Next, Invesco and Galaxy pushes for Solana ETF with new SEC filing. Further fueling the ETF race for Solana, asset management firm Invesco and Galaxy Digital have filed an S1 form with the US Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) for a spot Solana exchange traded fund (ETF). This filing marks the 9th application in a burgeoning trend for Solana ETF, underscoring growing institutional interest in altcoins as investors sees higher potential in them amid ever-increasing crypto adoptions. The proposed application is slated for listing on the Cboe BZX exchange under the ticker KIOSO, and it will see BNY as the administrator and Coinbase as the custodian. In this joint initiative, Invesco would be the ETF sponsor, and the Bank of New York Mellon will be looking after administration. Meanwhile, Galaxy, as an asset manager, will be responsible for acquiring Solana for the fund. The appeal for Solana ETF lies in its high-speed blockchain infrastructure capable for processing up to 65,000 transactions per second, which is a stark contrast to Bitcoin's lower network. The timing for this filing also coincides with a notable surge in Solana's CME futures volume. Moving forward, impact on Solana price. Despite the news, the Solana price has remained in a huddle and continues trading in a weekly range, while traders were anticipating a major breakout. Historically, such ETF filings tend to push the underlying asset with sharp upsticks, but recently, shifted market dynamics have altered the trend. At the time of writing, Solana is trading near $144.94, having a 24 hours trading volume of $3.28 billion. Notably, Solana has declined over 16% in the past month, coinciding with a broader market downtrend. Finally, on the news today, BlackRock pushes SEC to approve XRP ETFs before July. Social media posts indicate that BlackRock is trying to get the US Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) to approve a spot XRP exchange traded fund (ETF) before July. However, since SEC has been repeatedly delaying its decision on these ETFs, netizens are questioning the legitimacy of the latest claim. The speculation initially started after reports that BlackRock met with the SEC's crypto task force in early May. The reports claim they talked about ETF approval standards and ways to possibly launch more crypto ETFs. Like other rumors in the past, there is no official filing and BlackRock has not announced anything. A shared letter from that meeting noted that BlackRock was interested in learning about new ETF structures, but it didn't mention XRP at all. So far, BlackRock has only focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. These were approved in early 2024 and have been doing well in the market. Last year, BlackRock's ETF head, Jay Jacobs, said the company was sticking with Bitcoin and Ethereum because they were more mature and had better trading volume. Moreover, even though XRP is the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market value, it has a long legal history with the SEC after it accused Ripple, the company behind XRP, of selling unregistered securities. The case has dragged on for years, and while Ripple has had some wins, the lawsuit is still not fully settled. This legal uncertainty might be why BlackRock is staying away from XRP for now. Nonetheless, Ned Gerassi, the president of the ETF store, thinks it's only a matter of time. As the Crypto Times previously reported, he said, "I still fully expect BlackRock to file for spot SOL and XRP ETFs." He added that it would make zero sense for a giant like BlackRock to let other firms take over the altcoin ETF space. He also pointed out that EME traded XRP futures are now available, which could help lay the groundwork for a future spot ETF. Last year, a fake XRP trust filing caused a stir online. BlackRock quickly responded, saying the filing was false and that it has no connection to Ripple or XRP. For now, there is no sign that a real XRP ETF from BlackRock is in the works. The company has not made any moves and the SEC has not approved anything until something official is filed. The news remains just a rumor. Let's take a look at the people's sentiment reaction on today's crypto markets, the Fear and Greed Index. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index for today stands at 50, placing it at the neutral category. This suggests that buyers are neither fearful nor greedy in the market today. That will be all for now. We'll continue to bring you latest updates as more information becomes available. Stay with us for more breaking news and do well to subscribe, like, share and comment your thoughts below for real-time interaction. Reporting live from Crypto News Hack, I am Joy Samuel. Thanks for watching. Good night.